Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Michael Dandrea. I live and work in a small town called Kaneohe, Hawaii. Because I live on the border of a rural and suburban area here in Hawaii, you may hear some chickens crowing in the background, or dogs barking, or children playing outside in the yards. This is all a part of life in this more country-like place in one of the most beautiful places in the world in Hawaii. I'm developing this interview as an invitation, but really not an invitation to everyone who may be listening to this video. This is an information for those people who are concerned about the racial violence and cultural injustices that continue to be perpetuated in our society. This invitation is for people who believe that they have the right and the responsibility of helping to build a new society that's grounded in justice and peace for all people and result in the healthy physical, psychological, spiritual, moral development of all persons who live in the United States. This invitation goes out to those persons who are concerned about the mass media reports, both of the increasing rise in African American young, unarmed men and women, as well as Latino and Latina persons who are subjected to physical, police brutality, oftentimes, unfortunately, resulting in death. This invitation is also designed to those persons who are concerned about the growing and predictably the continuing growing retaliation by persons against law enforcement personnel in the United States. We are at a crossroads that has continued over a long period of time. This crossroads will lead us in one of two directions. One, we can use our ability to dream of a future that can be and must be, and then proceed to discuss with other like-minded people how we might go about doing the best we can for whatever time that involves to help create a more just and peaceful world that really does lead to healthier physical and psychological health and well-being. This invitation goes out to those people that have not forfeited the belief in new human potentialities, the potential for human beings to eradicate and change and eliminate the ills that continue to be perpetuated because, after all, much of the racism and sexism and heterosexism and classism and other forms of cultural oppression we see perpetuated in our society are made by people and the systems which people are a part. Therefore, it's we the people that can dream and discuss and take action to create a better society. I don't know about you, but I'm angry and frustrated with the level of violence that occurs among people in marginalized and devalued groups, as well as the retaliation of violence against police officers. I must admit, the frequency with which police brutality has a negative impact on African Americans, on Latinos and Latinas, and even the structural damage that is being done by Native American Indians, Native Hawaiians, and the indigenous people of Alaska are very disconcerting. And like many of you, I do believe that we can work together to help change the situation in this country. One of the challenges we face has never occurred before. In the history of the United States, the majority of people in this nation have come from Western European, English-speaking, predominantly Christian-believing persons who have made up the majority of people in the United States. Now, and within the next 2 decades, we are undergoing a tremendous change that we've never experienced before. We're moving to a nation that will soon be a majority of persons who come from non-English speaking, non-Western European, non-Christian backgrounds. These persons who comprise the majority will have new forms of political and economic power that they will utilize in ways that will hopefully eradicate the problems of police violence, economic injustice, environmental destruction, and other forms of violence that undermine our psychological, physical, and yes, our spiritual health and well-being. This is a fantastic change and challenge. And like many of you, I am hopeful that we can work together with the younger generation and our elders to find ways of taking action. Now, no, we're not asking people to think, oh my goodness, Dr. Dandrea sounds like he wants me to do 100% more on 10 things. No. But Dr. Dandrea and other people I work with in various professions and in the streets to formulate what's called the Social Justice Creations website and the Social Justice Creations Facebook are working together to identify people who can at least put in 5% more on one thing. No, not 100% more on 10 things, but those people who dream of a better future, who want to strengthen our democracy, who want to eliminate the history of individual and structural violence and injustice to people in devalued groups, including gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender persons. Now, this invitation is to check out a new national project called The Call of Conscience, promoting justice, peace, and healthy human development by reducing the various forms of violence in our society. We will begin this first free project set of webinars on this coming Wednesday, September 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, in the note that accompanies this video, I provide a link that you and your friends and your colleagues and family members and members of your religious community, people you work with, other students in your school and university you may attend, may be interested in attending for free. So be sure to share this video and the information on the short note, which includes a link that will help people go directly to the first of a series of webinars that make up the Call of Conscience. You will also find a link for the Social Justice Creations website as well as the Social Justice Creations Facebook. Now, this invitation is not for people who have lost in the cancer of pessimism. This invitation really is not for people who have made up their mind that Black people and Latino persons and persons in other groups, persons of color, are really responsible for the problems they experience in life. And therefore, it's up for them to change. And I really don't want to have much to do with it, as many people can say in this country. No, this invitation is not for those persons. No, this invitation is not for those persons who have made up their minds that the complete source of problem in racial violence is police officers across the nation. No, this invitation is not for individuals who have a very narrow way of thinking about solutions. No, this invitation is not sent out for persons who believe we need to have more punishment for people who violate the existing laws. No, this invitation is not for people who believe that the people who are protesting in the streets, especially people the majority of whom are using non-violent civil disobedience to express not their protest, but the ways in which they are trying to protect and better our government. So if you fall into the category of persons who are likely to benefit, and certainly we will benefit from your own thinking, please think about attending the first free webinar on Wednesday, September 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This free resource is something that can be shared with as many friends or persons in your community that you think might be interested in just checking us out. Together, we can do much, as history has shown. Together, even though small in number, we can help produce tremendous growth in democracy and peace in our society. Together, we can forge a new future and lay down the arms of people who are fighting each other and increase our right and responsibility for civil disobedience in nonviolent terms. Thank you very much for taking time to listen to this video, and please contact us on the website link or the Facebook link that's provided with this video. One of the things that we will be doing throughout the Call of Conscience is to call forth from many of the traditions and belief from various religious institutions. We will draw from Muslim and Islam beliefs and practices. We will draw from Jewish traditions and values. We will draw from persons who identify as Christians and their values and beliefs. We will draw from Buddhist practices and values and beliefs. We will draw from people who don't identify with any particular religious or spiritual background in order to have robust discussion and to increase our motivation and inspiration to do 5% more on one thing. As a practicing Buddhist, I want to end this video by sharing with you chanting that we do twice a day, in the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. Our chanting goes out to people to experience a greater level of happiness in their lives, to experience safety in their daily activities, to really feel a sense of peace with oneself and with others, and to have good health as we continue to share our lives with other people. The chanting goes something like this. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. One of the meanings of this chanting statement is I devote myself to the mystic law of cause and effect through sound. I hope this sound of peace and justice reaches your heart as it is being sent across the miles from Hawaii. Thanks again for taking time to listen to this video, and be sure to think about whether you would fit the invitation, or if you're among those people that aren't quite ready to allow love and peace into your heart and to let work be a channel through which you can help join with others in creating a better nation, a more peaceful nation, a healthier nation. This is Dr. Michael Dandrea signing off from Hawaii.